Hello, high school football fans. I'm Joe Medley from East Alabama Sports Today here at Wellborn High School with Coach Jeff Smith. This is the third installment of our campus visits that we do every year for all the football playing schools in Calhoun County, kind of working our way south to north. And Jeff, nice. I don't think that I've seen this weight room in a while. It's like a nice. You've done some work in here, haven't you?
Well, we redid it probably a couple of years ago. Got some new racks in here, and you know, I guess you'd say rearranged everything, so made it more efficient. So it's you know, we spent a lot of time in here.
And of course, you know, this translates to success. You've had a lot of success in 17 years here. Just how do you see this team kind of fitting into that mold?
Well, I tell you what, this team that we got is a very enjoyable team, and the team that you see this year, you're going to see again next year because a lot of them are juniors. It's a very heavy junior football team, and they're a joy to be around. I tell you what, we've had a lot of fun with them this summer as far as workouts and you know our play dates and stuff, and they're a good group to be around.
You said something at Media Day that intrigued me, that this year kind of felt like 2018.
It does.
That was the year before you made that semifinal run.
Absolutely.
Wait, if you could expand on that and kind of elaborate on how the pieces match up for that 18 team and this team. And
well, in 2018 we had 3 seniors. That was it. That year our senior class was made up of 80 kids, and 60 of them were girls that year, and then 20 boys. And then we only had 3 senior football players. Well, the 3 senior football players, they were not starters. So everybody that started for us in 2018 was either a sophomore or a junior. And so they got basically all that experience, and we were very close to making the playoffs that year. We actually went 5-5 in 2018. We was very close to making the playoffs, and we lost by 1 point to Weaver. We lost by 1 point to somebody else during that because we had a strong region. Randolph County and Piedmont, I think, were the best 2 in that region that year. And then Weaver was the 3rd seed, and I think maybe Ohatchee was the 4th seed that year. I'm not positive. But anyway, we had the entire team back the next year. I mean, every starter returned. And then, of course, we had that run that we had in 2019. And this team is very similar to that. We don't have quite the numbers that we had back then, but our school's not as big as it was back then either. We kind of shrunk in size the last few years.
As I recall, 18 would have been Jed's sophomore year.
His sophomore year.
Was that his first year as a starter or second year?
Well, it was his first year as a starting quarterback.
First year starting
Yeah,
quarterback.
when he was a freshman, he played linebacker and he played running back. And then during his freshman year is when our starting quarterback got hurt, and we put Jed in there against Talladega and really kind of took off from there.
This year, you got a second-year starting quarterback, as Emerson comes back from Hope Christian after playing baseball in the spring. How is he looking? How has he developed?
Really good. The first 7-on-7 day we had here in June, I tell you, boy, he looked really good. We're real proud of him. And he's come back in here and hadn't missed a beat. He's got back in here in the weight room and got back with his teammates and everything. He's doing really good.
And then looks like the backs behind him are going to be new this year. Tell us about them.
Well, Marion Tippins, he played for us last year, you know, and he was an all-county player, but he was mainly defense. But he's going to be our fullback, and then our wingback is Zane Hill. He played for us last year, but he was more of a receiver. Now we're working him at wingback and receiver, and then our tailback is a kid named Jaheim Kirby. That played for us in junior high and then didn't play for us the last couple of years, and he's back out. He's a very solid kid. And then Maurice Traylor, who played for us last year and had an injury, broke his arm during the open week. And but he's playing tailback too for us right there. And then also Maurice can play wingback too. So actually Maurice started at wingback for us at the spring game.
You mentioned at Media Day the Horton twins.
Oh yeah. Now Caden Horton. He plays tailback for us, and he also plays wheel linebacker. And I tell you what, Caden's going to be really something. He's already, I feel like, a good defensive player, but I think he can add to us this year offensively too. And then his twin brother Brayden you know, he plays quarterback, and he actually was our quarterback during the spring game when we played Coast Springs. But now Braden can play receiver, he can play tight end, he can play quarterback, and he also plays sound linebacker for us. And Braden can punt.
And how about defensively? How does this team look this year?
I like them. You know, our strong defensive end that's replacing Ethan is Parker Williams. You know, Parker is pretty much, you know, well, not pretty much, Parker's stout, and he does not miss nothing. We had 30 workouts this summer. He did not miss a single one of them. And he's gotten bigger, stronger, and quicker. And he plays defensive end for us. Juan Hernandez is another strong kid for us. He plays our defensive tackle. Our nose, we kind of have a little competition going on right now. It's trying to find our nose guard up. And then Eli Wickland plays tight end. He also plays weak defensive end for us on that defensive line. And all those kids I mentioned are all juniors. And then on the three linebackers is Braden and Caden, who are, both of them are twins, and they're freshmen. And then our linebacker is, well, looks like it's going to be Brady Greenwood or Azai, either one. We would like Azai just to have to play quarterback and not have to play both ways. I mean, that'd be the, you know, ideal situation, but sometimes you just can't do that. But Brady's worked at my linebacker some in the spring and yesterday at practice, and he'll hit you. I mean, look, he's a Greenwood, and we've had a bunch of Greenwoods at Wellborn, and every one of them will hit you. You know, and then Maurice and Demarion's been playing our corners, and Jaheim and Zane have been our two safeties. So defensively, you know, if you look at that right there, we've got two seniors on it. Everybody else is either a junior or lower. So, I mean, you know, again, the team that you see this year will be a lot of the same faces again next year.
And this region this year, Class 3A, Region 6, you know, 9-team region,
Right.
eight of your 9 games last year were region games.
Same thing again this year.
Same thing this year. How is it shaping up, do you think? How does it look?
Well, I mean, the region's tough, but Joe, you know this. Have we ever been in an easy region? I mean, every time we've been in a region, I mean, it's been tough. You know, I guess well, I wouldn't even say that, you know, because when we were in the South, you know, we was in there with Randolph County and Dayville. I mean, you don't get much better than that. So, I mean, the one good thing about our region is pretty much, you know, not a lot of travel. We will have to go to Locust Fort this year, where we went to JV Pennington last year. But we're fortunate that those two games were split, so we only had to go to Pennington last year, and then we go to Locust Fort this year, and Pennington comes to us. So we only had that one travel game. But the rest of the games are local games, local rivalries, and it's exciting. I mean, we like playing local teams.
And JV Pennington's a hike, isn't it?
JV Pennington is a hike, and Locust Fort will be a hike too. And we played Locust Fort the first round, and 19, and we went out there that year. So that was a pretty good trip back then.
Yeah, we were talking before we went on camera about getting rest, getting older, things like that.
Yeah.
This is year 17 for you. I know you were in a place a few years ago where you were thinking you were getting close to maybe hanging up, and here you are a few years later. Where are you now with all that?
Well, I tell you this, you know, one thing that helped me out here, to be honest with you, is the first thing was when Judd was hired here. You know, Judd took a lot off of me, and he's our offensive coordinator, coaches our quarterbacks, and he's an assistant coach, and you don't have to tell him; he just gets it done. You know, if it's a wet day, he's gonna make sure he's got towels out there on the field, and he's gonna make sure we got, you know, the cards in the plastic bag and all. I mean, he just takes care of the little things you could forget about. So he's been invaluable. You know, and then this year we was able to bring on Jet, and you know, how motivated he is and inspirational right there, boy, it picks everybody up, including me. So I would say Judd and Jet both have kind of breathed new life into me too out there, and they motivate me. And so, I mean, I enjoy being around them, and you know, and I've got some other good coaches, you know, and I'm not saying good, I'm talking about great. Coach Houston and Coach Russell, they do the defensive line and offensive line, and they've been with me forever. You know, Coach Phillips is our defensive coordinator. He was a senior the first year we were out here. So we've got some good people, you know, with us, and we all get along and we're all friends, and, you know, I enjoy being around them. And then, plus, you know, I enjoy being around the kids. You know, I've said this before, you know, I'd rather win than eat when I'm hungry. But the deal is, we want to make a positive difference in these young men's lives, because that's why I'm even sitting here talking to you. That was made with me, and, you know, and the kids that we have, I just enjoy being around them and enjoy trying to help them, and maybe we can help them right there, and if that's the case, then that's just why we're doing it.
How close is Judd to being ready to be a head coach?
Now he's ready now. Now, I mean, I don't know if he would admit that, but I mean, I know how I was when I was coaching with Coach Bowles. I know how he is with me, but yeah, he's there, sure is.
If you could just, you know, how is this? What's realistic for this team this year, and then what are you hoping to see developmentally out of this team this year?
Well, I think we got an ability to get better as the season goes, and I think that's very important. You know, I think we need to get out there and not try to predict the win-loss record right now. Well, I think we need to just take, like we play our fall jamboree with Mumford, we need to get out there and have a good scrimmage with them, and then take that and then get ready for the first ball game. And the first ball game's a reaching game against JV Pennington, and we need to go out there and play that game, you know, and focus on it one play at a time. You know, like Coach Saban says, a process, and not really worry about, you know, worry about the outcome of each and every play, and then that builds up and that ends up with your win. You know, a few years ago, we quit trying to predict, like, hey, our goal is to play for the state championship. Now, that's definitely the end game. We want to play for the state championship. But there's a lot of little steps to get there, and we can't jump those steps to get to that state championship. But I think we need to just go out there one game at a time, one quarter at a time, and one play at a time, and then just, as the season goes, and improve and see what we got right there at the end. You know, the one thing we've had the last couple of years is at the end of the season, we didn't have a lot left in us. I mean, even into 2023, we won the region, but when we got to playing Cleveland County last ball game and Flomaton that last ball game, we just didn't have much to go out there and get after them with. And the same thing kind of happened this year too. The ninth ball game when we played, well, it was our eighth ball game when we played Piedmont. We played them hard for a half. But then at halftime, I could just tell we just didn't have enough left in us. And it's just the way, you know, that we just kind of, I don't know, I guess we just burned out at the end of the year. And so the ticket is to keep improving the kids and try to keep them as fresh and injury-free as we can too, and improve at the end of the year. You know, we've had some years where we've been able to do that. One that steps out in my mind was when Landon McCrisky was playing. You remember, we started that season off, we lost the Champions Challenge, and then we lost the Sacks, and then we went on a tear there and beat Ramburn that was undefeated, and got to the playoffs, and you know, won the first round and played Fife out here to a 2-touchdown game. And really, it was. I mean, we were driving in to tie the game right there and had a turnover, and they got back. They went ahead of us by 2 scores, and they ended up beating us. You know, so what we've got to do is try to improve, get the end of the year, and have enough left in us that we're improving and hit the playoffs. You know, hit the playoffs strong.
Is there any adjustment that you can make, you know, in the preseason to try to help keep everybody fresh, or just hope everybody stays healthy?
Well, it's more than hope. I tell you, you know, we've had some good. We've had a good off season. We had a good spring training. We had a good, you know, off season here in the weight room. Okay, now we're getting into fall camp right now. Okay, you know, and just, you know, I think a lot of it's got to do is, you know, we're going to be back. We have been out of the weight room. We maxed last week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So they have not been in the weight room since last Wednesday. We're going to be back in the weight room tomorrow. okay? And the weight room is so important during the season into trying to keep them moving, you know, keep their strength up, and by doing that, it helps, you know, minimize on injuries. Now, it's not going to eliminate it because you're always going to have some injuries, but that does help them. And then, you know, and then I think another thing too is try our best into trying to feed them. You know, making sure that, you know, after practice and everything, that they eat something, you know, that's going to sustain them. I mean, because their body, your body's like a car, okay? And if you don't change the oil and you don't put gas in it, it's not going to run, okay? So we've got to do that weight room right there and get what we need out of the weight room. Is like changing oil, and then we got to put fuel in the tank afterwards right there to keep the motor running.
Now, I've had to put new brakes and a battery on mine in the last couple
Right,
of months.
absolutely. You know, well, I mean that's the thing, and also too, when they're not with us, take care of yourself. You know, making sure that you're eating right, you're not drinking carbonated drinks, you're drinking water, you're drinking Powerade or Gatorade, and putting good stuff into you. You know, instead of trying to, and it's so hard to do now. I tell you, you know, like all the fast food and everything, you know, kids want to eat fast food, they want to drink soft drinks, but if we can try to put better food into them and making sure that they're taking care of themselves, I think that'll help a lot. I tell you something else too, me and you were talking about sleep before this interview and everything. You know, they need 8 hours sleep. You know, if you're not getting enough sleep, you know, your body's not repairing itself. So when you rest, your body is healing itself. And they've got to have some good sleep too. That means get off the phones, get off the games, you know, and get good quality sleep before every day.
I know.
And all that takes a lot of discipline.
Yes.
It all takes a lot of discipline. You got to be self-disciplined to do those things.
You brought this up at media day, and of course I'd like to address it here. Wormy.
Been great.
Who's hanging it up as far as coaching on the lower levels where he's still going to be the stats keeper.
Oh, he comes to practice with us every day. He's always going to be with us.
That's how people in my business know him is the stats keeper.
Right.
You've seen the talent that's come up to you over the years from what he's done over the years, and how has he impacted?
Look, he's been invaluable to this school and this program. I'm telling you, he's done it for 52 years. I'm 56 years old. He started coaching youth football when I was 4 years old.
He's in one of those old team pictures in your office.
That's right. That's right. And you know, and what he offered me, I can say this personally, is like, I didn't even play till the 7th grade. And he basically stopped by my grandma's, and he told her that he would pick me up for practice. And then of course my mom picked me up after practice, but he picked me up, and there was his assistant was a guy named Will Wilson, and Will was a line coach, and I'll never forget the first day of practice we was out there. Now look, I didn't know how to put my pads in my pants, I didn't know how to run a sprint, nothing like that, but both of these guys gave me such a great first year experience. I mean, they made me fall in love with it. But I remember Wormy said, hey, look, anybody wants to be a running back or a receiver or a quarterback, come with me. All the linemen go with Coach Wilson. Well, everybody flocked over there where Wormy was right there, and then just a few people went over there with Coach Wilson, so I went over there with him, and I got to play. And I'll tell you another story about Wormy. You know, he never gave you a chance to pick your number. He just gave you a number. And so he gave out jerseys, and had two guys that standing there, and they were kind of complaining about what jersey number they got. And one of them said, man, I got this number. And the other one said, man, I got that number. I said, Jeff, what number did you get? I said, I got number 52. They said, is that what you want? I said, sure. I said, well, how'd you get the number you want? I said, oh, no, he just gave it to me. What they didn't know, I could have been number 152 and I've been happy. I just wanted a jersey. So, I mean, he gave me, and he's gave a lot of guys a great, you know, first experience. And man, look, he coached me in youth football, and he also coached Jet in youth football. So that's a lot of years in between there that he's coached a lot of different players and made a big impact on them.
And if you've ever walked a sideline with Wormy on a Friday night, this guy loves Wellborn. David, he loves Wellborn.
He Leslie. Well, he was one of the ones that influenced me to love it like that. So, I mean, he's great. I think a lot of him. Sure have, and I have for a long time.
May not love referees as much, but.
No.
Well, Jeff, I appreciate your time as always.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
First day of school was challenging for you.
Oh, yeah.
You're a good sport. If I had a special.
Well, you know I like you if I'm going to take time out there on the first day of school.
Thank you.
It's hectic as it is.
Appreciate it. Good luck this season.
Hey, thank you so much.
And we will see you on the hill at some point.
Come on.
Tomorrow we move on to Anniston High School, and then on Friday we go to Donahoe again as we kind of work our way south and north in the county. And I will see you tomorrow from Anniston.